Found this animation here and I wanted to show it to you, give you an idea of what I'm talking about and thinking. As you can see, they show that little dark white circle there going across being the moon in front of the sun. It's going from left to right, meaning west to east, as they state it should. Fine, that's all good, but look at the shadow. Does the shadow move that way to the observer on the ground? I don't believe it does. So as old Johnny Cochran said, if it doesn't fit, you must quit. Just look at the animation. The direction of the object is correct, but the shadows that it forms on the depiction of the sun, is that the way it appears to the observer on the ground at that location? I will check with my video and other video that I've gotten. I will synthesize that information, put that together on screen for you, Curveball, just for your joy, in addition to the upcoming videos that I will load soon. But look at this animation. Think about it rationally, logically, critically. Don't just dismiss and say, hey man, everything I see up there is round. With the course of the films I will put together, Curveball, I will attempt to answer your burning questions about why does it matter? What difference does it make? All these things will be clearer to you. Certain things I found with experiments people have done, I will add those in there. So I'll try to make it as information packed as possible, but it will all be truth. But you have to be open-minded enough to receive the truth. If you condemn an idea without investigating, that doesn't bode well for you. If you want to learn something. Got a couple of curveballers here for you. I'm sure you got the same feelings and thoughts as them. They've got something in common. They're all sticking their tongue out. I don't think we'll ever see a picture of Tesla with his tongue out. Anyhow, on the right there you can see this looks like a flat earth map, but actually the guy's making fun of it. But what I wanted to do was use it to illustrate his point can't be made on a ball either. But if you look at the position of his yellow sun, that is where the position of the sun would be at the Tropic of Cancer. It's got to be further south of that, because that would have occurred on June 21st. But what I want you to understand, Curveballer, I will present to you real life photographs that I took which show the moon above the sun just a day or two before the event of the solar eclipse. You can see with the path of totality from 2017 how a small object orbiting the sun coming up from the top right hand side of it could swing underneath to the observer under the ground and cause a little shadow if it was a small orb close to the sun. You can see how those patterns could be made then. That's my assertion. It's a dark orb that's causing the sun to be blocked. I think video that I've gathered and will put together will determine and show you all of that, along with the other footage that I've grouped together from a bunch of YouTubers. Just wanted to put up some quotes here for you, Curveball. Provoke a little thought before we start down the rabbit hole. This enormous, convoluted story of scientism. It's modern day philosophy that it's really nothing more than a religion when you think about it. A whole lot of faith and theory goes into the belief of it. That crazy book called the Bible with all them crazy phrases like the moon casting its own light. Put all that in perspective with new tools, of modern technology with these big zoom cameras, just a little bit of rationality, you realize the truth. Like YouTubers have said, truth in the movies, lies in the news. Show you a little clip from Interstellar. Look at this curveball. This picture here. It's plain to see. It's perspective. I've told you before, if it were a ball, you're up at over 100,000 feet like these people on this weather balloon taking this photo. Not to mention the facts they've got on the screen there. How big is the Earth? Look at this picture. Everything you ride, no matter how high you go, the horizon is at eye level. Wouldn't do that on a ball. They tell you in the eclipse footage on the news from ABC News that the military was at 50,000 feet, high enough to see the curvature of the Earth. You double that here, where's the curve? Smoke and mirrors. He knew. Now look at this. I want to draw your attention to the sun down there at the bottom. That's the way it should move. It should move like that. It should start in one direction from left to right. It shouldn't go up and down. The shadow shouldn't go on the north side of the sun or on the south side of the sun. It should move from that direction they've got depicted there and only in that direction. But it doesn't. Therefore, it's not the moon. Look at this. The moon's over 2,000 miles diameter, a 70-mile diameter pole. There's a video coming up later that a person on YouTube put together. I've added to this flick. Pay attention to the logic and the reasoning of what they tell you. It doesn't make sense. We already know. Why would an object at 2,000 miles in diameter cast a 70-mile diameter shadow? Oh, there's some lensing going on or something. They always have to invent something to describe something that's not normal. Here, look at this NASA photo. Look at that. See how it's twisted? Why would it be twisted? Look at the near totality in the center. Why isn't it the same way? Why is it toward the top on the left and then toward the top on the right? That doesn't make sense. Look at this path of totality from 2015. This was March 20th, 2015. Look at in the middle of the blue arc is a red asterisk. That's the maximum time of totality is in the center of the arc. Okay, and they depicted it on the ball. It must be because of the curvature of the Earth. They're all like that. But what you won't understand is there's no way that the moon going only 5 degrees off the ecliptic could ever cast a shadow around the North Pole. It's impossible. And here we know what that was. See, the greatest amount of totality is in the center of the entire arc. That was in Hopkinsville, Kentucky. Look at this nice detailed map from north to south. See that? If you're just on the edge, you get 20 seconds. You're right down in the middle, you get 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Here at this particular spot, we're going to break these maps down. We're going to go into their numbers. We're going to draw it up into AutoCAD and track the movement and show you that these shadows could not have occurred from an object of the dimensions and the size and distances they give us. I will demonstrate that for you at the end of this series. We will use all these nice numbers. See how they tell you here, right in the video, the sweet spot. Longer eclipse viewing, Carbondale, Illinois. 1:17 CDT, and leaves the state at 1:25 p.m. Carbondale will experience totality approximately 2 minutes and 35 seconds. Okay, why doesn't it occur at the same time all over? I mean, the United States is only 3,000 miles wide. Why the discrepancy? You go back, I'll show you there's a flat Earth map that gives 15 degrees of adjustment. Look at this, truth in plain sight. If you're south of the line of totality, the shadow will come from top to bottom until it reaches totality. South of that, you won't see that. You'll see the reverse. So if you're standing up at the north near Ohio, you would see everything happening from the south. Why is that? Doesn't make sense. See, they show you some truth in plain sight by the shadow of the sun. But the object is not moving that way, so why would it appear that way? Think about it. Could be that it's in the dome of the sky. I don't know. But look here at this map. It's at 10:17 in Salem, and it's 11:26. I mean, this thing's moving at 2,000 miles an hour. We're going to see if that's how long it takes at that distance for that shadow to move there, for it to be the moon. Yeah, you can do this in AutoCAD. It's not impossible. Look at this. We've got all kinds of maps with all kinds of data points to draw from. Now look at this map here. The bottom flight does not exist. For every hour it moves, the sun moves 15 degrees on this map for every hour. That's how the man in 1892 was able to patent that as a time calculator.